Coming up on Network Africa, the government of Somalia bans Christmas celebration, argues it could threaten the nation's Muslim faith. South Sudan makes headway with peace agreement as warring factions hold the very first meeting in Juba since signing peace deal in August. And the United Nations considers external interference in the current conflict in Burundi, shuns the government's refusal of international investigators. Hello and welcome to Network Africa. I am Adeshewa Josh. We begin in Somalia, where it will literally be a silent night on the 25th of December. This is because the government has decided to ban Christmas festivities, arguing that such Christian celebrations could threaten the nation's Muslim faith. Well, this isn't the first time that Somalia will be cancelling Christmas celebrations. It did in 2013, citing security reasons, but this is the first time it will be banning Christmas celebrations because of religious sentiment. An official at the Religious Affairs Ministry was quoted saying that the celebrations are not in any way related to Islam. Security agencies have been directed to stay alert to stop any gatherings. Foreigners are, however, free to mark the Christian holiday in their own homes, but hotels and other public places have been prohibited from marking the day. Now let's get more about this story. I'm now being joined by Faisal Omar. He is a photojournalist with Reuters. He joins me now from the capital, Mogadishu. Thank you so much for making our time to speak to me on Network Africa. Now, give us the latest on this decision. What has been the reaction of the people of Somalia?
Thank you. Somali people mostly, they welcome for support for the decision of the government because they are all Muslim and they don't need, I think, to celebrate for the Christian because there's no any community of Somalia who they are Christian.
Look, sound like a decision taken overnight. Have there been consultations or even situations leading to this decision?
Really, if you look for the situation, maybe no one can celebrate for the Christian. I mean, Somali people, those people of Somalia, they are all Muslim. There's no Christian community in the country, or even there's no judge in this country because the people are all Muslim. And that's why Somali government, they banned to celebrate for the Christian. They didn't ban it for Christian members, for example, foreign workers or AU forces stay in the country. Maybe they can celebrate inside the camps, but Somali nation, no one can celebrate because the population are all Muslim. That's why they ban it.
So does this officially make Somalia an Islamic state?
We have a federal government. There's no Islamic state for Somalia, but the population, they're all Muslim. There's no Christian community, and there is no even Somali. You can see if you go inside the country, even one person who is saying I'm Christian. There's no Christian. So you can't say this is Islamic state, but we have a democratic government, federal government, and the population, they are all Muslims, so no one can say it's an Islamic state.
Okay, so let me bring a little bit of insights to this. For something to be banned, it means it existed at some point before it was banned. Are you saying there was no any kind of celebrations before it became banned? I mean, some people were celebrating this holiday before it became prohibited.
I remember before this time, there's some young boys who always celebrate with a Happy New Year, but they didn't mean that they are celebrating with Christmas, but just they make for small parties with a Happy New Year, but I think no one can make for this year because the government, they wanted, no one can, even they send it for letters to the police stations or security intelligences to make sure for the security, and no one can make now for any celebration of Christmas.
All right, thank you so much, Faisal Omar, there for us from Mogadishu. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, apparently, Somalia is not the only country who has banned Christmas celebration in the past. Tajikistan in 2013 and 2014 also banned it. These countries we're about to show you on your screen right now have banned the celebration for different reasons. Sierra Leone did in 2014, Conakry Guinea did in 2014, Albania in 1967, Cuba did in 1969, China did in 1949, and Puritans did in 1620.
And the winner is Channels TV. Okay, come this way, come this way. Welcome, well done. Yes. Good.
That's right. You, our viewers from across Africa and indeed around the world, have made it possible again for Channels Television to be crowned the TV station of the year for the 10th time. The winning streak began in the year 2000, then in 2001 through to 2015. Channels Television's Gimba Omar also won the award for the best news anchor of the year. One man who felt every pain and joy of this journey is the chairman CEO of Channels Television, Mr. John Momo. Let's listen to what he had to say after receiving that award.
Right. Regards to.
On behalf of Channels Television, the management and staff, I want to say a big thank you to everybody. In particular, I want to say a big thank you to all our viewers around the world who have kept faith with us, who have made sure that we remain number one. I also want to thank the board of this prestigious Media Merit Award Trust for their courage, which is what we require in this country today. And I'd like to thank my staff, all of them who are hardworking. They work as if their lives depend on it. I'd also like to thank my amiable wife. She's not here tonight, the only vice that I have, my vice chairman. And I'd like to thank all the winners and to say bravo to everybody. This is our 20th year. This is the 10th award for the 20th year. And finally, if I think that the award was truly by our own efforts, I'll be making a mistake. This is to our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, that's a sincere thank you to all our viewers from around the world for keeping us on top, and we promise to keep up the good work and give you the best at all times. Now let's move on to all the stories now. The UN is considering external interference in the current conflict in the tiny Central African nation of Burundi, but has called for an independent investigation first to look into the atrocities. UN Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide, Adama Dieng, says the government of Burundi should allow international investigators into the country to independently look into the current human rights violations. Months of street protests turned into regular armed attacks, with gunfire disrupting the nights, and bodies are found on the city streets almost every day. According to the UN, more than 400 people have so far been killed in the conflict, and an estimated 230,000 have fled their homes.
What we need also is to investigate seriously the atrocity crimes which are being committed in Burundi, and to bring to account the perpetrators of those crimes. Unless accountability is also addressed as a serious way to bring to an end what is happening, we will not see the end of the tunnel, and we will see a fragile solution. It is key that impunity no longer prevail in Burundi.
4 suicide bombers who set out to inflict pain and agony on innocent civilians in Lake Chad have fallen prey of their own vices after being detected by a group of locals on a Lake Chad island, killing 3 of the attackers, but no other person in the process. Official reports from security forces earlier today shows the bombers were part of a team of 7 militants headed for Chad's Yogo Island to the weekly market in the lakeside town of Bol in a motorized canoe. Lake Chad has witnessed in the past a series of bombings, claiming hundreds of lives. The government of Tunisia has decided to extend a state of emergency it is currently observing, which was imposed after a November suicide bombing from December the 24th to February the 21st. The statement said the decision to extend it was made after consultations with the Prime Minister and Parliament Speaker. The state of emergency grants the presidency and armed forces more powers and suspends some rights. Tunisian President Beji Caid Essebsi first declared this state of emergency after a suicide bombing killed 12 presidential guards in an attack in the center of the capital last month. It was the 3rd major Islamist militant attack this year, following 2 gun assaults against foreign tourists. Another short break on Network Africa. When we come back, warring factions in South Sudan meet in Juba in an attempt to form a transitional government of national unity. That's in a minute.